This is the story of the canon games of the Dead Rising series in 3 minutes. Let's begin. In the early 2000s, in Santa Cabeza, Central America, biochemist Dr. Russell Barnaby begins research on cloning and mass-producing cattle for human consumption. His plan backfires and mutates a nearby wasp nest, infesting the insects with a zombie mutation. The wasps infect the citizens of Santa Cabeza, and the US military is sent in to wipe out the zombies and destroy all evidence that it ever took place. A man named Carlito Keys, enraged by the massacre of Santa Cabeza, begins his own experiments. He injects a suppressed strain of the virus into a bunch of children, nice, and ships them off to live with foster parents, nice. He then injects one child with an immunity strain and sends him to a foster family as well. In revenge for Dr. Barnaby's experiments, Carlito unleashes a swarm of wasps on the small town of Willamette, Colorado. Residents become zombies and the National Guard quarantines the location. Photojournalist Frank West arrives in Willamette and investigates the reason for its quarantine. He and a small group of other survivors take refuge in a mall. They discover the conspiracy behind the government's actions to suppress the world's knowledge of zombies. And Frank releases his information to the public. The government takes partial responsibility but blames the outbreak on terrorists. Man, they're kind of right. Other terrorists get a hold of the zombie wasps and release them in Las Vegas, causing another massive outbreak. The attack kills many. The military suppresses the zombie infestation, and pharmaceutical company Phenotrans hires Carlito's sister Isabella to create a temporary cure. The cure, called Zombrex, keeps zombie victims from turning into full-fledged zombies, but their symptoms always remain. Yeah, there's no profit in a cure. With the zombie outbreak under control, zombies are considered entertainment, and Fortune City replaces Las Vegas as the prime adult tourist destination. Professional athlete Chuck Green arrives in Fortune City to win his way to a lifetime supply of Zombrex for his sick daughter, but ends up uncovering a conspiracy by Phenotrans to continue using zombie outbreaks, so Zombrex is always needed by the public. Phenotrans releases their supply of zombies in Fortune City, creating another outbreak. Chuck fights back and eventually teams up with Frank. Despite their best attempts, Chuck and Frank cannot defeat all the zombies. 4 years pass. Zombie Armageddon is imminent. Desperate to find the immune child Carlito experimented on years before, Isabella releases a zombie attack on the city of Los Perdidos, California. As it spirals out of control, the town is targeted by the military for an incoming aerial bombing. What did you think would happen? Among the survivors is Nick Ramos, the immune child. The military discovers his location and goes after him. Nick is protected by the survivors. I thought she wanted the military to find him. And uncovers a plan by the government to unleash even more zombie outbreaks on the world, and then use Nick's blood as an expensive cure. Back to fucking money. The world's ending. What are you gonna use it on? Nick and the others stop the military's plans, and Nick goes on to distribute the cure to those afflicted for free. Isabella destroys all evidence indicting her and the military's plans, exonerating her from her brother's sins. And that's Dead Rising in 3. I'd like to thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, make sure to thumbs it up and subscribe. I think Dead Rising was one of the first zombie games to really come out on the Xbox. I remember my friend Brandon and I were excited to play it, and then he tipped my Xbox when it was in and totally destroyed the game. Never got to play it until about 3 years later. Thanks, Brandon. You still owe me $60.